What's up, y'all? I'm back out on the range, as you can see back behind me. Really nice day out here, and I'm definitely glad because I'm just getting over a cold, so I'm probably sounding extra nasally and stopped up. You might hear some extra sniffing. I had to get out here though because next week's gonna be rain off and on pretty much every day, and I'm about to run out of videos and I don't need y'all to fire me. So we're gonna start this one off with some 327 Magnum. So as you can see, we got the jelly contraption set up under the shade here trying to keep us cool. We got the chrono and 2 freshly melted blocks of gel. No tests at all done in these, so we'll get a real nice picture of what goes on. And of course, we're gonna be staying with that heavy clothing barrier that's got the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of the cotton t-shirt material. And like I said, what we got here is actually a couple of different 327 Magnums from the same family, both of them Federal Premium. First up, we got the HST here, 104 grain. Everybody, I'm sure, is pretty familiar with HST in different calibers. Really nice nickel-plated case there. These things usually do pretty well in just about every caliber I've tested, so I expect some good stuff out of these. Now, the velocity on the box here is saying 1500 at the muzzle. I doubt we'll see that out of this little tool we're using today, but we'll probably still get pretty close. And then keeping it in the family, like I said, we got the Federal Premium again. This time it's the Hydra Shok low recoil, they're calling it. This one's a 85 grain, so a good bit lighter. Got that Hydra Shok projectile, again, nice nickel-plated case. This is a good-looking projectile on this thing. It almost looks bonded. I'm pretty sure these Hydra Shoks aren't, but it's got that bonded look to it. And now the velocity on this one is saying 1400, so it's saying 100 feet per second slower than even the heavier projectile. So these HSTs are probably going to be some good ones. Now, I think these Hydra Shoks are still going to do good even with the lower velocity and the lighter projectile. And then as you can see, what we're going to run these things out of is my little Taurus 327 with the 2-inch barrel. But this ought to be a pretty interesting one. I expect good things from both of these. Some people out there's probably never even heard of this 327 Magnum. I've done a couple of videos, and several other people have done videos on them, but it's not one of the more popular or widespread calibers, I guess you could say. But it is pretty interesting because of all the different rounds you can run out of it. So let's get this stuff set up and let's see how these do. All right, y'all, let's see what kind of speeds we can get out of these things. I'm going to do a 5-round average from each one, starting with this Hydra Shok deep low recoil first. I figured I'd start with this so it'd be easier to tell the jump in recoil, if I can kind of tell y'all that. It's really hard to describe recoil, but I'll try to notice the difference. Now, those of y'all who've been watching my new stuff with this Lab Radar Chrono know that your big number is going to be muzzle velocity, and then you're going to get 5 more. You're going to have 3 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards, 25, and 50. The 3 yard will be roughly what we're hitting the jelly at right here at the 10 feet mark is why I do the 3 yards. So let's get us 5 rounds, y'all. Got 1219, 1229, 1236, 1215, and 1213, and that was all 5. So definitely not the 1400, but again, 2-inch barrel. I know they tested it out a much longer. I didn't look and see, but it's common sense they tested it out a longer than a 2-inch barrel. As far as recoil, for low recoil, I mean, I would say that's 38 plus P, something like that. I mean, it's a little bit snappy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it ain't nothing that's going to tear you up, but it's a little bit snappy, even calling it low recoil. Another thing I'll say is it seems pretty loud to me now. I'll be able to tell the difference on this HST, but this right here seems pretty loud. So let's check out the average on it. I'm still trying to figure out which camera position and angles I like best. I might switch it up on the next one, but for this one right here on these Hydra Shoks, our average on this was 1223, an extreme spread of 23, and a standard deviation of 9.7. So let me get this reset and let's check out the HST. All right, let's see what we can get out of these HSTs, y'all. Remember, these are saying 1500. I wanted to mention too, I didn't realize, but looking at the box again, it's also giving us the 25 and 50 yard velocities on these boxes. So we can kind of see if the drop that they're claiming is the actual drop we're getting to. Another advantage of this Lab Radar. Some of y'all probably don't care about that stuff, but it interests the heck out of me. So what they're saying is from muzzle to 25, you're losing, they're saying you should lose 92. So we'll say 90. Muzzle to 25, we should be losing roughly 90, and then from 25 to 50 we should be losing roughly another 80. So just keep that in mind when you're seeing up on the screen here if y'all interested in that stuff. So let's get these HSTs though, see what they run. And what I say, 1500 muzzle is what they're saying on these. So got me armed. Yeah, we're good to go, I think. Let's see what we get here, y'all. See what the recoil's like on these two. It's a little snappier. 13-16, 13-11. Yeah, it's definitely snappier. 13-28, 13-04. And 13-13, so it is definitely snappier. It's nothing like, not a whole lot more push in your palm or nothing, and neither one of them are anything painful, but this one does snap up a little more. I can feel it sliding on my sweaty hands out here a little more. So 13-13, again, definitely not the 1500. What was we, about 200 off? I think it was about the same number off on that last one. And like I said, now from the muzzle here at 13-13 out to 25, we're at 1243. So they said we were supposed to lose about 90, and we lost what, about 70. It looks like we lost there, so they a little better performance than what they was even saying. And then from 25 to 50, we were supposed to lose around another 80, and it looks like we actually lost about 60 or so. So it's better performance than what they claim as far as the dropping in velocity. But again, I know they tested these out of longer than the 2-inch barrel, so let's check the average on this one. All right, the 5-round average that time from the HSTs was 13-14 feet per second, an extreme spread of 24, and a standard deviation of 8.8. And if you remember off of those Hydra Shoks, it was 12-23. So you're talking about a difference of 91 feet per second. The boxes were claiming 100 feet per second between them. So they right on the money right there as far as that spread goes. Just like I say, I'm running a shorter barrel. There's no doubt about it. So I expect good things out of both of these in the gel, regardless of all this. Let me get this stuff set up, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's family tree jelly time. We're gonna put one of each round into the gel, starting with this 85 grain Hydra Shok first. Like I say, if I'm guessing, I expect both of these to do pretty well. I don't know what the penetration is gonna be like, so I'm not sure where to put the camera, but I got it back where I'm guessing it might be at. Let's see what we can do with this thing here. All right, I think that went exactly where I wanted it. Let's make sure we stayed in there. All right, so far so good. That's looking really good down there. My block's a little more angled than I thought it was. Actually, I just got lucky and didn't go a little bit further. I'd have went out the top, but let's try this HST. I'm gonna adjust this thing on the next test. Hopefully I'll be all right to get this one done. All right, that should have been a good one right there. Let's go check those out and see what we got. All right, let's check this stuff out down here, y'all. Really nice looking performance from both of these rounds. Pretty much what I figured. I mean, both of these rounds and other calibers I've tested have done really, really nice. So there was really no doubt in my mind here. Up on the top there, of course, that was the Hydra Shok. As you can see, comes in here, looks like immediate expansion, dumps some cloth about up to this point here, keeps on trucking. As you can see, a little bit of extra disruption there for whatever reason. The projectile keeps on carrying and looks like you're about an inch from the end of this first block, and from what I can tell, some nice expansion on it. Looks like it's facing completely forward. It's just a little misleading because of that little bubble around it, but looks like some pretty good expansion from what I can tell so far. And then down on the bottom, of course, you got the HST. Again, comes in here, immediate expansion, really, really nice disruption right there. Got that really nice spiral looking action going on. Carries on through this first block into the second block, about, looks like maybe about 2 inches, and looks like some really, really nice expansion on that one also. As far as the penetration on it, this Hydra Shok Deep is exactly 15 inches. I mean, right on the money. 15 inches of penetration on that one, so absolutely fantastic. And then your HST is exactly 17 3/4, so absolutely beautiful penetration on both of these rounds. Here's your closer view angle from above. Again, on top there, that's the Hydra Shok, the bottom, the HST. Both of these things absolutely fantastic wound channel and disruption going all the way through that first block. Now the HST, it carried a more disruption. It looks like a little bit further. Let me back you up here, but that's just like I say, I'm just nitpicking there. Both of these things did incredible. There you can see the projectile on that Hydra Shok, got some nice expansion on it. And then if you follow down here, that HST again, really nice expansion there. All right, let's take a look at these projectiles, y'all. These things look really, really nice. This one right here is your Hydra Shok. This one right here is your HST. I mean, just look at those things. Very, very nice expansion. Very even expansion out of these things. I think they did exactly what they were supposed to. Now, I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning, the Hydra Shok Deep. Y'all know it's got this post, or this ain't the Deep, the Hydra Shok. This got this post in the middle. I think I mentioned in the beginning here, I noticed that this post wasn't near as long as any of the other calibers I've noticed before, and I looked at more rounds and they're all like that, so you can barely see any sign of it left because of that. I think you can see in the middle there just a little tiny bit of it. As far as the HST close up there, looked like that HST could have had a little bit more in it with a longer barrel. I'm sure it would have, and would have probably knocked the penetration back by about 1 inch, I would guess. But either way, absolutely fantastic looking performance from these things right here. But let's weigh them up and see if we lost any material. I don't see anything in the gel, so I don't suspect that we did. This Hydra Shok started at 85 and it's giving me 85.2, so definitely nothing lost there. The HST started at 104 and it's actually at 104.1, so neither one of these lost any kind of material that I can see or that the scale shows. And then as far as your expansion, they both actually look really close just by eyeballing them. We'll start with this Hydra Shok. You got 510, 517, and 511, so some really, really nice even expansion on that one. And then your HST here, you got 510, 503, and 506, so again, very, very nice even expansion from that one also. So there you have it, y'all, the Federal Premium family of rounds in 327 Magnum with the HST and the Hydra Shok low recoil. Both of these things, absolutely fantastic performance out here. Penetration, expansion, both of them just picture perfect, exactly what you want to see. As far as your velocities and what they're claiming on the box, just overall slower, but you know, we're out of a 2-inch barrel, and the spreads between going down range exactly or right there exactly at what they're claiming on the box. So again, I didn't have any doubt personally that these were going to be some fantastic rounds. Federal Premium stuff usually meets their mark or exceeds it, and once again here with the 327 Magnum, it has done just that. All right, y'all, we're gonna call it right there for a couple of excellent 327 Magnum rounds. Once again, no surprise here really out of either one of these. The HST was almost guaranteed to do well. It's just an HST. The Hydra Shok, most of the time it's done well in all the other calibers I've tested. There's been a couple of instances, you like the 380, and there may be another one where just those caliber kind of problems took over and didn't do as well as you wanted it to do. But in this case, again, they both did absolutely fantastic. It's a shame that the ammo for this 327 is hard to find and so expensive when you do find it. Really, any of the 5 rounds technically that it can run are all hard to find or expensive. But it's still a fun little gun to get out here and mess around with, and the fact that you can run so many different rounds is definitely really cool if you can get a hold of that ammo. Now, if you actually carry this 327 Magnum or something similar to this kind of size, or even a little bit bigger than this, these 2 rounds right here, this is the way to go if you ask me so far from what I've tested. Now, I've only tested maybe 3, 4, 5 different 327 mag rounds, but both of these right here are absolutely terrific. But let me know what y'all think about the performance from them out here today. Do any of y'all out there actually carry a 327 Magnum as an EDC or a sometimes carry kind of tool? If you do, what do you actually carry in it? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the video, reach down and hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you've got your notifications turned on so you don't miss anything when I upload it. Take a second looking, if you're doing some shopping, and check out those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy after going through any of those links down there, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Once again, I appreciate all my range gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel like y'all do. As you can see, I was able to move my canopy because my trees got me shaded now with the sun moving overhead. A good thing and a bad thing though, because now I've got some shade, but it means I'm running out of daylight, so I got to get my butt in gear. I've got a few more interesting things planned for out here, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.